Where you live, and more than 70 firefighters have been tackling a major fire at a disused warehouse in Martham in Norfolk.
The nearby medical centre had to be closed and several homes were evacuated, Lauren Carter reports.
The billowing black smoke could be seen from miles around. Up close, it was clear to see the ferocity of the flames at the former cash and carry warehouse. Crews were called to the fire at Hemsby Road just after 10:30 this morning.
Yeah, when the crews first arrived, they were faced with a building approximately about 50 metres by 50 metres. That was well alight and already on fire when they got here. The building is a disused warehouse with some storage inside of it, and at the point they got here, the fire was well established within that building.
Witnesses have described hearing a series of bangs, which is thought to have been asbestos exploding.
It was quite frightening because there were flames coming up and an awful lot of black smoke. It was very dramatic, yes. I think we were very fortunate that the smoke was blowing away from us.
At its height, there were more than 70 firefighters at the scene as flames spread through the entire building. The nearby medical centre had to be closed and several homes were evacuated. The blaze is now under control, but some crews are likely to stay through the night. In the morning, a fire investigation team will try and find out how it started. Lauren Carter, Anglia News.
A motorcyclist has died after a crash with a lorry on a Norfolk road. It happened on the B1140 at Panxworth just after 6 this morning. The road was closed both ways between Southfield Lane and Hulver Road. Emergency services were called, but the motorcyclist was confirmed dead at the scene.
A takeover deal has been agreed that should secure the future of a Suffolk-based building firm. Construction company Haymills, based in Stowmarket, is being bought by French firm Vinci. The 98-year-old company had been on the brink of administration. The takeover deal was agreed last night and could save 300 jobs in Suffolk.
Horse riders are celebrating a victory in their campaign for a safe crossing on one of the region's busiest roads. Riders had complained that there were no plans for a safe crossing within the scheme to dual the A11 between Thetford and Barton Mills. But now the British Horse Society has been told that proposals for an underpass at Elvedon are being submitted by the Highways Agency.
Now, allotments are all the rage these days, but one gardener from Stock, near Chelmsford, is growing his veg in a rather unusual spot.
It all came about after Dougie White became partially sighted and can no longer drive to his beloved allotments 7 miles away. Lorna Ramsey explains.
A visit to the doctors is not usually something we look forward to, but in the village of Stock, near Chelmsford, there's something that's making it a little more pleasant, and it's all thanks to Dougie White. 3 years ago, he was told he couldn't drive anymore after suffering from diabetic eye disease. It meant he could no longer get to his allotment at Craze Hill near Billericay. So the staff here came up with a solution.
It was devastating to think that I couldn't drive anymore. Came back and said, go out there and have a look. I had a look at it and I thought, oh dear, there was 2 inches of soil and no more. And I thought, well, I can do something with this as a challenge. So I got stuck into it.
Dougie spends around 6 hours here every day, and the patients and staff at the surgery are enjoying the fruits of his labour.
The staff love it because we get so many free vegetables. The patients love it because they like seeing the flowers. Nobody would really want to come see a doctor if they could help it, obviously, so we try and make it as painless as possible, and if the garden looks beautiful, it cheers them up.
Dougie has no intention of selling his fruit and veg. The fact they make people feel better when they're under the weather is good enough for him. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Stock.
Now, a clown from Felsted near Great Dunmow in Essex has entertained children for the last time today. Edward Conder, or Mr Short, as he's known, has reached the age of 70 and is retiring. He's a member of the Church Army and has been entertaining children for the last 7 years at holiday camps like this one at Wheelie Bridge Caravan Park near Clacton.
You can't really be as silly as normally in life because people look at you and realise how odd you are, but once you put in the clown uniform, you can, misbehave. You have to stop sometime, and 70 is actually a good time to stop these things.
On to sport and the draw for the second round of the Carl